G'day guys, it's Jake here. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Please don't research when it comes to investing. Please sure to check out my links below, including exchanges I use and social media content that I post. Alright, let's go. Today's video. This will be the last video of 2025. So have yourselves a good Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, it's going to be a full-on year next year. Hopefully markets are better, conditions are better, and we all are doing extremely well next year. But as crypto holders, we are struggling at the moment. So for a New Year's resolution, I think a good one to be to pray for the markets to do really well and to take profits and right to the sunset, and enjoy life. But we can't do that. So got to be very, very cautious at the moment, and with the way things are. But at the end of the day, you don't know where the market's going to go. No one knows. It's just tracking it day by day, and I think over the holiday break, you'll see liquidity sort of dry up a bit. It won't be as liquid and as volatile, and should just really go and focus on spending time with family and friends and getting out, because this is time to do so in the holiday period. Take a break from markets and walk away, and then come back sometime in January when things are back up again running, and the action should start, and another new year, hopefully a lot better year than we had in 2025. 2025 has been a great year, even better year in 2026. So let's get on to this video, and let's start with this tweet by Tom Tucker. So Federal Reserve's $7 billion liquidity injection settling on December 23rd, 2025 as part of its reserve management may support crypto markets by enhancing risk appetite similar to past QE effects. However, actual impacts depend on broader economic factors. So this is just a overview, of the current schedule of bill purchases by the Federal Reserve. Now, so far, the first day was 12th of this month. They started buying $8 billion worth of treasuries, and then 6.8 on the 15th and the 17th, 8 billion. And then here it is here. Well, settlement dates here, I should say. So they'll buy it there, but it'll settle a few days later. So it's here, a day later, a few days later. It depends when the operation date compared to the settlement date, but you get the idea of the schedule here. Going to 2026, early January, and then 8th there. It's 8 billion every 2-3 days or so, which is quite good. And we're getting back into the mode of QE and money printing. So a lot of people out there will say QE hasn't started yet. It's only QE if it's a response to a crisis, and it's sort of the tail end of things, and it's to fix the system. The economic engine is breaking. That the unemployment rate's going bananas, and either inflation's dropping like a rock, or it's pretty much that, and the unemployment going up, and seeing weak economic conditions deteriorating in the background, while everything else is running hot. Assets are running hot, and then as usually is always a trigger to that. But I reckon this is more risk management. This is what the Fed's indicated in their meetings, that this buying of treasuries and stuff and the rate cuts that they've been doing specifically is not responding to a crisis or anything like that. Like they're sort of front running recession. Not in a recession yet. So it's another thing. Look at the SARM rule indicator. So we're not there yet. We had a false trigger last year, but we haven't got one so far. This year. So we're not in recession. Someone told you that, and cutting rates, selling QE to respond to it. Look at the stock market; it's at all-time highs, so it's not the case at all. And the crypto market obviously is not doing so well. It's sort of deviating from the stock market. But this is the Fed is doing to sort of risk manage the economy, and so unemployment rate is sort of starting to tick up, and they want to sort of front run that any weakness. So inflation is dropping, which is good, 2.7%. And yeah, the unemployment rate's 4.6%. Went from 4.4 to 4.6. So it is ticking up. It's getting up there, but we can definitely see the Fed sort of get more, in tune with things and start to accommodate the economy. So, reducing rates further, increasing liquidity by buying bills, okay, providing cash to the system, to the banking system, and therefore, yeah, that'll be good for the economy. It trickles down into the economy. It doesn't happen straight away. It takes time to filter in. At least they can sort of get ahead of things before it's too late. All right, so I see this as risk management for the Fed, and this is good for risk on assets going into 2026. The next tweet is by Academy Rad. Okay, I'll click into it. Every Bitcoin top, this happens after QE. Okay, every Bitcoin bottom is QT where 195. Okay, and weeks into the longest QT ever. Okay, Fed confirmed QT ends December 1st. This is back in November the 30th. Okay, so this is an older tweet. Last 2 times QT ended, Bitcoin dominance crash, old season. So old season happened. Okay, so you can see the chart Bitcoin. Okay, the tops. So you can see the blue dotted line here. It's during QE. But tops. This period here in 2017 was a bit different. Okay, this is a flat balance sheet. This is after they raised it and continued a flat balance sheet. We said it still had an old season. Bitcoin did really well. Bitcoin dominance fell off a cliff here. Okay, and then QT happened, and obviously a Bitcoin dominant cycle here until it collapsed again. So it went down again. And then after the pandemic, and the QE money printers turn on, and then we had QE really ramp up, and we had Bitcoin top after QE happened. So 2017 was a bit different, a bit of a flat balance sheet, but nevertheless it was stealth. Well, it wasn't stealth QE, it wasn't even QE, it was flat, maintaining balance sheet steady because there's no recessionary concerns back then. It was pretty stable. Inflation was fine. So, yeah, pretty good. But, yeah, you can see the QT period we've been at the moment. We're starting to end QT. Well, we have entered it on December 1st. December 12th was official day they first started buying T-bills. So December 12th, so you start to see it tick up again, okay? So curling upwards very slowly. And that's QE. We're here, and we should see another parabolic move for Bitcoin, okay, to end the cycle of QE. All right, so that's the way I look at it, okay? So they're ramping up the balance sheet. As you can see, dotted blue line, Bitcoin's always done well, and then topped, and after that it collapsed. It happened, like I said, in 2011, 2013, okay? Always after QE's return. 2017's exception year where it didn't do anything. So, yeah, it's never QT, so balance sheet going down and topping after that. So that'd be more to 2019, sort of style top when QT's and tops in QT going into QE, okay, and then it goes down a little bit further. We could see something like that, more like 2019, where you think it's going to go higher now because we've got QE, everything looks bullish, the conditions are right for it. The money printers are turning on, but not yet, okay. We can see some downside if it's, 2019 hints of a knee-jerk reaction, took a while, and then boom, the pandemic stopped it and then went higher. So yeah, that's the chart, and you can see we require QE for an alt season and either a flat balance sheet or increasing balance sheet. We're getting increasing balance sheet, so it's even better, and it should be good going into next year. So on the Bitcoin's price, and you can see we're dropping. We're sort of 87,000 today. Not a big drop. So consolidating here. Okay. Now the risk metric is still here at 15.7, I believe. 16. Okay, 16 now. We are climbing slowly, the risk metric. So that's a good thing to see. And the MACD, so I can show you here, is curling up and starting to break above this 20 level. It's indicating bullishness. Which is what you want to see. All right, so that's good. See that on the MACD in the 3-hour time frame. Now we'll look at the sort of correlation of the QE periods, and it's more or less tied to Bitcoin dominance. All right, it's not something you really overlay Bitcoin price. I just showed you on the Twitter chart, It doesn't indicate exactly where tops and bottoms are and where your pullbacks and your continuations are. No. You're better off looking at Bitcoin dominance. All right. And you want Bitcoin dominance to collapse because that's when altcoins will outperform. All right. And this period is very, very, notable because we are starting QE. So you should see things start turning around. So we'll get on the Bitcoin dominance chart actually and have a look at that one because it's important. People think Bitcoin dominance is going to go up to here. I'm starting to think because QE started, I think it's over. Bitcoin dominance run is over. But we can still see maybe one more final move before it goes lower. Who knows? I'm on the back of a pump. I can see it going really, really high. But on a dump, I don't see this thing exploding higher. So it really depends what Bitcoin does on price, USD price. Okay, and that's that one. So if I put overlay, I'll go weekly time frame. It's just more zoomed in and easy to see. And I'll overlay the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve. Okay, you can see it's starting to tick up again. Okay, see it's very so slightly. I mean, you can see it tick up here too, but it's ever since 7/15, you can see it ticking up. You should see more of a curl upwards. Okay, and QE is beginning. Well, this is it. This is stopped. Balance sheet is stopped. And previously, let's have a look, see what's happened, and zoom in on it. So a flat balance sheet, as you can see here, pretty well flat, didn't go anywhere. We still had an alt season. Boom, we went down to here. Nice bottom. And QT began, and then Bitcoin dominance bottomed, and then went higher from there. See that? QT, QT stopped here. QE began, and Bitcoin dominance topped. Went down. We had one more spike higher, which caught a lot of people off guard, and then dropped, and then it continued up. The balance sheet continued up until we went sideways for a bit, and then we topped here. Your bottom's about here. We had another little wick here, and that was your bottom. Okay, for dominance to continue going higher after the balance sheet topped, and we started QT. All right, QT goes down, balance sheet goes down, Bitcoin dominance goes up, and we are at the moment. So what will happen now? We see the quick knee jerks, huge move up, and then just drop down like we saw in 2021, early 2021, late 2020. Had this low in the month of September. Okay, October, another low here, November, boom. December that year, then fell off a rock. We're sort of getting into nearly January now, so it might take a couple more months or a few months to see it top out. I drew a line at 70%. Who knows if it's 70%? But this is just where I've seen it go in the past. Okay, so you can see it here. It spiked up in 2017 before it fell off a cliff. Okay, came up in 2019. It came up in 2021. Will it come back in 2026? Who knows? And then drop. That's what we all want. We want to finally see it go down to it. Bitcoin needs to lead the charge. And that's why I'm still seeing this go higher on the note of a bullish move, not a bearish move. There's not banana zone for Bitcoin. That old school. Take the liquidity right towards the end. Okay, because Bitcoin had its move here in January, and it's still sort of held up here in March at its top, and then it fell really quickly. And it fell really quickly. Alts outperformed really quickly. Here it's yes, it was falling already down here, and then boom, went up, and then down. The biggest move, the alts this cycle was here. Okay, it's a very tail end move, right at the end. This was sort of early 2021. Yes, we did have another move in sort of late 2021. This is a move here, but this is the bigger collective altcoin move at the start of the year. So we haven't got that yet. Okay, we haven't got a huge drop. We've had these fake drops. This one here, which caught people off guard, but now it's sort of grinding higher again. We see one more push higher before a drop. I do see this hanging out, just exactly like this. Going up to here, either by, don't know when exactly, I can't tell you a time frame. Sometime early in the year or mid-year 2026, and then finally get this massive drop. And alts outperform. So that is where I'm seeing Bitcoin dominance. as the balance sheet starts to tick higher. Okay, not move that aggressively, but you know how it moves. Yeah, it should correlate with Bitcoin dominance topping and then going lower. So that is the Bitcoin dominance and balance sheet overlay. And total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. It's basically Bitcoin dominance flipped on its head. And you can see there, it's pretty correlated, okay? Both should go up together. As you can see here, both go down, okay, as the balance sheet's going down. And top and go down and bottom exactly the same time. This is a flat balance sheet here. We still had a nice parabolic alt season in 2017. So this is your alts set for Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDT against Bitcoin, okay? We should see this drop one more time, I reckon. Maybe could consolidate and then into the end of 2026. Is what I'm seeing, this one. Something like 2017, which went absolute bananas at the end of the year. We won't see anything durable until the end of the year, I reckon. Take a good move. Look at this massive move here in 2020, 2021. Yeah, that's what I see happening. But it needs to bottom out durably, I think, on the back of a Bitcoin pump, not a dump. All right, so it is sort of dropping at the moment. There's this big wick it's left behind. Okay. It's October wick. Got this biggest capitulation event for leverage, liquidation, capitulation. And then, yeah, should go higher from there. Messy drawings. Oh, I know, but it's gone now. So is that one. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting is going to happen. And that's that one there. And then look, it depends on the stock market too, yeah. So the stock market continues to grind high. This is in the futures market. We are in the Russell. And it is looking a bit weak, wicks and stuff like that. But MACD looks a bit weak on the weekly time frame here. Looks to be sort of, you know, dropping. 3-day time frame looks bullish. Okay, broken the highs. We're up here. We're above this high in 2021. So this is very, very bullish, I think. And I'll show you another thing too. Russell on this chart here. So if I go, I'll keep to the 3-day time frame. Quickly show you something on the Russell. Very, very interesting. I was going to say I was going to make a video on this, but I'll make it right now really quickly. So we've got the highs here. So yeah, we're not great financial crisis highs for the Russell. We had another high here in 2011, high here in 2012. And we broke through it up here. This is after I put the moving averages now. This might get a little confusing with the 100-week moving average. I might get rid of the 100-week. So you can see what's going on here. So once it had 1, 2, 3 attempts, it broke through. And it broke through and MACD cross 3-day bullish. Okay. Once it broke through here, okay, durably this candle here on the 3-day weekly time frame, we continue this massive run towards the end, and Bitcoin topped here. So overlay Bitcoin here, so you can see what I'm talking about. Bitcoin and logarithmic charts. There's your top, right? This is after a cross, and about 1 year later, November 2013, we topped. And there's your top, orange Bitcoin, and it went lower, obviously, a bear market. This is after it broke through these massive highs, okay? It went to price discovery. So that's the first move in 2012. The second move was here. We had a high in 2015 at Russell, and then it tried to get up here and it failed. 2016 had a durable correction to the 50-week moving average. So 20 weeks here. Go back to the other one. We corrected to 20-week, the 4-month swap band, and below the 50-week. Okay, and we've got something similar that happened here. We didn't get below the 50-week. We got above it. Okay, massive candle here, huge run, and boom, from there we keep going. After MACD crossed on the 3-hour time frame in November 2016. So it broke through these highs, and that was the start of the massive run. It lasted quite a while. Obviously, it lasted until 2018, so almost 2 years of just up only, basically. Bitcoin didn't go up only. It stalled out in end of 2017, so basically a year before. But the noble thing is, it topped out 1 year after this broke out. So the Russell broke out, 1 year later, Bitcoin topped. Okay, same as the previous one I showed you. 2012 broke through, and end of 2013 it topped. Bitcoin topped. You see the orange price there, and Bitcoin went down. Now we had a high here for the Russell. It's a little bit confusing, but there's price action here, high in 2018, and then high in January 2020. There's your pandemic, boom. We tried again, and we broke through durably in the year of 2020 again. That year, November. We had a bullish MACD cross here. You can see it went pink. All right, it crossed back bullish. We tested the moving averages. Okay, the 20-week bull market swap band and above 50-week. We did test it back in September. So month of November again. Again November, bang, broke through, and then it topped exactly at the same time Bitcoin topped. You can see they both topped together 1 year later, November 2021, and they both went down. Okay, found their lows and then grinded higher together, and we've been grinding up together, except it's been going down. Even the Russells have been going up. We had the correction first, then it went up for the Russell, and guess what? We corrected the month of November of 2025. So it's the bull market swap band above the 50-week. And we've got the MACD bullish cross here, the 3-day time frame. I'm expecting higher moves for this index. Keep going higher, higher, higher. Bitcoin styling out here. Should see Bitcoin catch up. Okay, and I reckon about 1 year later, so we've already broken these highs. So look at the month of December. It's an official month breaking out. We should get a top in 2026 around November, December time frame based on this. Based on it breaking out, okay, and 1 year later after the breakout candle, so November, okay, November. We got this again, November 2016, December 2017. So it took a bit longer than a year, a bit over a year, so it could be December, okay, or it could go into January 2027. So that's always a possibility. We broke through here in January, so it did take less than a year, okay. It was roughly early January, so basically 11 months there. So it wasn't quite a year. But after the MACD cross, the dotted cross to this is 1 year. The cross, so these are 3-day MACD crosses, okay? So well, the white dotted line is showing when MACD crossed. So we already had the cross already, and that was your 2012 moment, okay? November to November. After we crossed MACD bullish here, and we topped out there. So I'm seeing something very similar happening. Okay, we've had all these conditions play out, and obviously every correction to the bull market sport bands has been November. As you can see there, November, all right, November 2020, and then happened again this year, November. So I reckon it's going to play out exactly the same. Had the cross, so I can draw this dotted line now, okay, right here, and then, or basically, a better way to do it is I'll copy and delete this one, and I can unlock it and put it right where it needs to be, because this is important, guys. This is very, very important that we lock this one. Okay, so we've officially crossed, and the bullishness should continue, and then go higher, because it's broken all-time highs. The weekly time frame is close a durable candle above these highs, so we're here. Hope it's not a fake out though. Yeah, durable big green candle to confirm this, and then looks pretty good to me where we are, and we should see a Bitcoin top basically 1 year later. Okay, so we're looking at December of 2026 as being the top. I don't know exactly which day, but according to this chart, okay, it's been pretty good. It's been 1 year, as I said there, 2021. This is over a year and a month, 2016 to 2017 cycle. And then the 2012 to 2013 run was 1 year, and that's it. So there your runs, okay. That's what we sort of expect to happen going forward for the Russell and Bitcoin price, okay. So Russell can top when it wants to top. I'm not really concerned at Russell. I'm more into crypto, so whatever that does is what my concern is for this one. So yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens here. It plays out. Do I have any drawings? No, I didn't. So it should be good if this is what follows the trajectory, okay, of the Russell just going sky high price discovery mode. It probably won't do it in the holiday period. Like I said, it's low liquidity, so you won't get much liquidity. And once the liquidity picks back up again, there's more money flowing in the markets, more trading, volume, whatnot. That'll all kick in sometime in the first, second week of January. All right. So that is that one, and I suppose we'll call it this just there. Call it there. Thank you. So thank you for watching this video. This is the last one in 2025. Pretty exciting. Hope your New Year's is going to be filled with more luck in the markets, and everyone does really, really well. Obviously, if you've been in the precious metal markets like gold, silver, palladium, or whatever you invest in that sort of realm of things, you've done really well this year. The stock market's been doing pretty well. The Mag 7 specifically, top dogs. Crypto, it's been okay. Bitcoin hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone down since Trump got office in January. So really it's done bugger all, nothing. So crypto has been a pretty wonky investment. But every other asset class has been doing okay in 2025. But 2026 is going to be the year for everything to go bananas. Probably not the commodity market, but more or less the riskier stuff, okay? So just say the risky stuff, the frothy stuff, float at the surface and outperform, especially the crypto market, specifically memes. That's what I'm hoping happens, and we can all ride in the sunset, filthy rich, and call it the best year of our life, and get your financial freedom. Do what you want to do, buy what you want to buy, and just pat each other on the back. This long, hard journey we've been through, it should be well worth the wait. So, it's coming soon. I think it's going to be a good year next year, and let me know in the comments what you hope for, what you see, your predictions, for price predictions, or whether you're bullish or bearish for next year. Let me know in the comment section. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to stay updated. Be sure to check out the links below, and I'll catch you next year in 2026. Cheers.